Yo, these so bored otherwise. They're like, yo, nah, I ain't gonna lie. It was funner when Drake was dropping it like the industry. Yeah, you had this leprechaun coming on his line, starting the Me Too wave, talking about he had this, he had that, weird case. I bet the whole industry down right now, man. It's like in Batman when they start showing this Gotham City. Yo, we have the bat signal. Where is Drake? The crime is getting out of control. What didn't y'all say? Y'all tired of Batman and he was a menace too? Oh, nah, we not tired of him no more. Come back, Batman, come back. I try to tune into Elliot Wilson's show. He ain't got nothing to talk about.
Nobody saw it coming. Not the fans, not the industry, not even the insiders who swear they always know everything. But in the last 48 hours, something has erupted around Drake and DJ Akademiks. Something so explosive, so chaotic, so brutally self-destructive that people are calling it the biggest career meltdown of the decade. And the craziest part, it all happened in real time, right in front of the world. Because what Drake and Akademiks just did wasn't a small slip-up, wasn't a quiet misstep, wasn't a simple PR blunder. No, this was a full-blown crash-out moment, the kind you can't walk back. The kind that makes your fans go silent. The kind that makes your enemies start celebrating. But here's the part nobody is ready for. Behind the scenes, multiple insider sources are whispering that this wasn't an accident. This wasn't random. This wasn't a simple oops. This was the result of months of pressure, paranoia, backdoor deals, secret arguments, and a chain of events that spiraled out of control until both men reached their breaking point. Drake, one of the most untouchable names in music, reportedly snapped in a way nobody has ever seen before. Akademiks, the loudest voice in hip-hop media, ended up trapped in a storm he helped create. And according to one source, bro, they didn't just fumble. They detonated their own careers. Social media is in absolute shock. Hashtags are trending. Screenshots are being deleted. Leaked messages are circulating faster than their teams can shut them down. Even celebrities who usually stay quiet are chiming in because the fallout is that massive. And here's the most frightening part. We're only seeing the surface. The real story, the one insiders are scared to talk about, is darker, messier, and involves betrayals and explosions. Nobody would have ever imagined from two people who once controlled the culture. So buckle up. Because what Drake and Akademiks just unleashed is not just a scandal. It's a career-ending chain reaction. And trust me when I say, it gets so much worse from here. If you've been following hip-hop for even 5 minutes, you already know that Drake and Akademiks weren't just two figures casually orbiting the culture. They were two giants who shaped it. Drake ran the charts, the playlists, the cultural pulse. Akademiks ran the conversations, the narratives, the online chaos that kept the industry spinning. Together, they were an unstoppable force, until the pressure finally became too much for both of them to control. But to understand how we got to this catastrophic moment, the crash-out scene across the entire internet, you have to go back deeper. You have to look at the cracks that were forming long before anyone noticed. Because this meltdown didn't start yesterday or last week, or even last month. It began way before, in a slow-burning tension that built up across years of loyalty, dependency, jealousy, and behind-the-scenes manipulation. Let's start with Drake. For most of his career, Drake was the golden child of hip-hop, the man who could drop a single Instagram caption and shake the entire industry. His albums became cultural events. His tours sold out minutes after being announced. His name alone could end careers, spark beefs, or launch unknown artists into superstardom. But over the last few years, something started changing. Fans noticed. Critics noticed. Even insiders whispered about it. The music wasn't hitting the same. The public started turning. TikTok kids began mocking his bars. New rappers accused him of being out of touch. And the more people questioned him, the more desperate he seemed to cling to relevance. Every move felt bigger, louder, riskier like he knew the throne was slipping. And then there was Akademiks. For years, Akademiks positioned himself as the loudest megaphone in hip-hop. Every beef, every rumor, every messy situation, Ak was there. Live streams hitting 100K plus viewers, Twitter threads spiraling into madness, clips reposted everywhere. He thrived off drama, chaos, and controversy. But what people didn't see was how deeply connected he became to Drake. Not just as a fan, not just as media, but as an unofficial shield whenever Drake faced backlash. Ak defended him. Whenever a rapper dissed Drake, Ak went nuclear. Whenever the internet questioned Drake's relevance, Ak would spin it into a narrative of everybody is hating on the greatest. Behind the scenes, people said Drake and Akademiks had a strategic alliance, a symbiotic relationship where Ak protected Drake, and Drake fed Ak exclusive information, status, and insider access. Ak became the gatekeeper for Drake's public image, spinning the story exactly how Drake needed it. But that type of alliance always comes with a cost, because eventually the public started seeing through it. They began to question why Akademiks defended Drake harder than Drake defended himself. They wondered why Ak attacked certain artists and not others. Some even claimed Drake used Akademiks as his attack dog, letting Ak say the things Drake couldn't without damaging his own brand. And whether that was true or not, the perception became a problem. A growing one. A dangerous one. As Drake's popularity started showing cracks, Akademiks' loyalty became a double-edged sword. The more Ak defended him, the more he tied his own credibility to Drake's. Industry insiders claimed labels started distancing themselves from Ak because he was too biased. Artists refused interviews. PR teams cut ties. Even fans felt like Ak was losing the plot, choosing friendship over honesty, and that's when things got messy. Rumors started circulating that Ak began feeling the pressure, that he felt trapped defending Drake even when he didn't want to, that he wasn't getting the same level of appreciation or recognition from Drake's camp. According to one insider, Ak was starting to feel like Drake's PR intern, not his friend. And then came the turning point. A series of incidents, private arguments, mixed signals, and quiet betrayals that slowly pushed both men toward the edge. One incident, insiders talk about, happened months ago during a private industry party. Multiple witnesses reported that Drake and Akademiks had a tense exchange away from cameras. Someone close to the situation claimed Drake allegedly told Ak to chill on defending him so much, because it was making things weird. Another source said Ak took it personally, feeling like Drake was embarrassed by him. But that wasn't the worst part. Shortly after, Akademiks began ranting on livestream about feeling used by certain people in the industry without naming names. Fans connected dots. Clip channels started posting theories. And although Ak never said Drake's name directly, the tension was already forming cracks in public. Meanwhile, Drake faced career turbulence of his own. His last few releases sparked mixed reactions. Some critics said he was trying too hard. Others accused him of being disconnected from the current wave. His rivals were getting louder. Younger artists were rising fast, and suddenly, Drake wasn't the untouchable icon he once was. Insiders claimed Drake's team started tightening his image, becoming more controlling, more strategic. And to them, Akademiks' wild, unpredictable, emotional became a liability, not an asset. The pressure cooker was heating from both ends. Ak felt abandoned. Drake felt exposed. Both felt cornered, and both were ready to explode. Nobody realized it then, but the stage was already set. One wrong move, one leaked message, one emotional outburst, and everything they built together would come crashing down. And that wrong move, that spark that ignited the entire meltdown, it was already on its way. The meltdown didn't begin with a public diss, or a leaked clip, or a viral live stream. It started with something much smaller, something tiny, something that shouldn't have mattered. But in the world of fragile egos and collapsing reputations, even the smallest spark can burn down an empire. It began with a private message, allegedly exchanged between Akademiks and someone inside Drake's circle. The message wasn't meant for the public. It wasn't meant to be screenshotted. And it definitely wasn't meant to go viral. But somehow, it did. The message leaked anonymously through a small hip-hop gossip page at 3 a.m. And within minutes, it spread like wildfire. Fans, bloggers, TikTok reactors, the entire internet tore into it like vultures. The message read, "I can't keep covering for this man. He's moving weird. I'm tired of being the one taking hits for his mistakes." It didn't use Drake's name. It didn't specify what mistake. But everyone instantly assumed it was about him. Why? Because the tone matched everything people had been whispering for months. Drake and Akademiks weren't aligned anymore. Something was wrong. Something had snapped behind closed doors. And suddenly the world had proof. And that's when the internet erupted. Twitter was filled with fake screenshots, wild theories, and bold claims. TikTok creators made videos stitching Ak's past livestream clips, connecting dots that didn't exist but somehow felt real. Even major outlets began speculating, sensing blood in the water. The next morning, Akademiks woke up to chaos. His name was trending. His DMs were flooded. His mentions were a war zone. People demanded answers. Fans begged him to address it. Haters mocked him for finally breaking. And instead of staying quiet, instead of letting the storm die, instead of handling it with strategy, Akademiks went live. He shouldn't have. Everyone around him knew he shouldn't have. That emotional, impulsive fire inside him always leads to disaster. This time was no different. The live stream started calm. Ak tried to laugh it off, fake a little confidence, pretend he wasn't bothered. But it didn't last. Within minutes, his tone shifted. His breathing got heavier. His voice cracked. The stress, the embarrassment, the pressure, everything poured out at once. Y'all think I'm scared? Y'all think I'm hiding something? If I wanted to say something about anybody, I'd say it with my chest. The chat exploded. Donations flew in. Trolls baited him. Fans panicked, but Ak wasn't done. He added lines that sent shockwaves through the industry. "I'm tired of covering for people who don't appreciate it. I'm tired of being used. I'm tired of protecting someone who wouldn't defend me the same way." The moment he said that, the internet lost its mind. Clip channels ripped the live stream apart, uploading highlight reels with titles like "Akademiks exposes Drake." Did Ak just snitch on Drake's camp? Ak finally admits Drake is acting weird. Millions watched. Millions commented. Millions speculated. Within an hour, the footage reached Drake. And this is where everything took a darker turn. Multiple insiders claimed Drake was furious. Not loud furious, but silent furious. The cold kind. The dangerous kind. The "I'm cutting you off forever" kind. One insider even claimed Drake sent a message to his team saying, "Handle this. I'm done." And once Drake goes cold, it's over. But what nobody expected was this. Drake's team leaked their own message. A message supposedly from someone close to Drake appeared online, reading, "Ak is spiraling. He's jealous. He's emotional. He's been begging for relevance. Drake doesn't owe him anything." Fans were stunned. Supporters were confused. Enemies celebrated. But he went nuclear. He hopped back on livestream this time, visibly shaking, and unleashed a level of anger nobody had seen from him before. "You ungrateful. After everything I did for you, you let your people talk about me like that? You think I'm scared to talk? Don't make me open my mouth." His chat froze. Even the trolls went silent. Everyone watching could see it in his eyes, wasn't bluffing. He was wounded, humiliated, cornered, and ready to explode. And right when people thought he had calmed down, right when he took a deep breath, right when the energy in the stream dropped, he dropped the first major bombshell. I got messages. I got recordings. I know things y'all wouldn't believe about that whole camp. The internet erupted. Reddit threads exploded with thousands of comments. YouTube analysts began dissecting every second. Twitter users started posting theories about what those recordings could be. Someone even posted a fake list of alleged topics. Ake had recordings about private conversations about industry beefs, a hidden scandal involving a major artist's negotiations. Drake didn't want the public to know about a canceled project nobody was supposed to hear about personal issues. Drake kept secret even from close friends. Whether any of it was real didn't matter. What mattered was that the narrative was spiraling uncontrollably. And then, out of nowhere, the first twist hit the internet. A viral account posted a blurry audio clip allegedly from Akademiks. Live stream before he went live, a recording where Ak can be heard saying, "I'm exposing everything tonight. I'm not protecting him anymore. I'm done." People lost their minds. TikTok went insane. Twitter exploded again. If true, this meant the meltdown wasn't emotional. It was intentional. Akademiks wasn't ranting out of rage. He was planning an attack. And just like that, the narrative flipped from Ak is losing it to Ake is coming for Drake. But here's the twist within the twist: the audio. It was fake. It was made by trolls using AI voice generation, confirmed hours later. But the damage? Already done. The internet believed it. Bloggers reposted it. Fans argued over it. Drake's team panicked over it, and Akademiks. When he saw it, he thought Drake's camp leaked it on purpose to make him look insane. That was the match. The spark. The final trigger. AK snapped completely. You want to play games? Fine. I'll burn everything down. And that sentence, that one moment, is what pushed this entire situation into a full-blown industry crisis. But you're not ready for what came next. Because behind the scenes, Drake wasn't staying silent. He was making moves, fast, quiet, strategic moves that would create a second explosion, bigger than the first, and much harder to come back from. And the next twist, the next reveal, it changed everything. If the first explosion came from Akademiks, the second one came from Drake, and it hit the internet like a nuclear blast, while Ak was raging live. Threatening to burn down the industry, Drake was quietly moving behind the scenes. Insiders say he immediately contacted a handful of powerful executives, publicists, and media strategists, people whose job is to control narratives with surgical precision. Drake wasn't going to go back and forth online. He wanted to erase Ak's credibility in one calculated strike. And then, it happened. A mysterious Twitter account, one that people claimed had ties to Drake's camp, posted a cryptic message: "When a man feels irrelevant, he'll attack the one who made him relevant." Screenshots dropping soon. The tweet went viral in minutes. Millions liked it. Hundreds of thousands retweeted it. People were begging for the screenshots. And then boom, a thread dropped. A massive thread. Dozens of alleged messages between Akademiks and various industry members suddenly appeared online. Some were blurry. Some looked edited. Some seemed too messy to be real. But the internet didn't care. The thread painted Ak as desperate, clout-hungry, jealous, and unstable. Some screenshots claimed Ak begged for Drake exclusives. Others showed him allegedly trashing artists behind their backs. One even showed Ak supposedly saying, "If Drake cuts me off, I'm done in this industry." Fans were stunned. Haters celebrated. Rappers Ak had beef with resurfaced old tweets. Twitter felt like a virtual riot. But here's where things took a darker turn. The screenshots were half real, half fake. Some were old messages Ak had actually sent years ago. Some were edited versions of real combos, and others completely fabricated. But by the time fact-checkers stepped in, it didn't matter. The damage was already catastrophic. YouTubers made hour-long breakdowns. TikTok creators reenacted the messages. Reddit detectives started analyzing the metadata in the screenshots like they were solving a crime. Akademiks, meanwhile, was peering further. He went live again, this time furious, pacing, sweating, yelling into the camera. That's fake. That's edited. They're trying to assassinate my character. You think you can beat me like this? Drop the real tapes then. The chat exploded. Thousands watched. Clips flooded Twitter, but Ak didn't stop there. No, he took it a step further. He claimed each team was behind the leaks. He accused them of lying, of trying to manipulate the public, of trying to bury him because he knew too much. And then, he dropped a line that instantly went viral. You think you're untouchable? Watch how fast I flip the whole industry against you. That sentence alone sparked hundreds of reaction videos, and while Akademiks was melting down on livestream, Drake wasn't staying silent anymore. He posted something, a single Instagram story. Black background, white text. Not everyone you feed is loyal. No names, no tags, no mention. But everyone knew exactly who it was aimed at. Within seconds, Akademiks fans panicked. Drake's fans celebrated. The industry watched in silence. The post hit the internet like a thunderbolt. Rappers began subtweeting. Producers dropped snake emojis. Bloggers picked sides, and that wasn't even the real twist. Because while the entire world was fighting over Drake's IG story, someone leaked something even more explosive. A private voice note, a 12-second audio clip, allegedly, of Drake saying, "I shouldn't have trusted him. He talks too much." This clip spread fast, faster than anything before. Twitter froze. Instagram froze. TikTok nearly crashed. People stitched it, analyzed it, debated it. Some said it was real. Some insisted it was AI. Some swore they recognized Drake's tone and cadence, and Akademiks. When he heard it, he lost it. He played the clip on live stream in front of thousands, staring at the camera in disbelief before shouting, "So that's how you really feel? That's what you say behind my back? After everything I did for you?" His voice cracked. His hands trembled. He tried to stay composed, but the betrayal hit too deep. Then, he snapped again. "You want war? I'll give you war." The chat went silent. People watching felt chills. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was a full-blown implosion happening live. And just when viewers thought things couldn't get worse, another twist dropped. A bigger one. A career-shaking one. A Twitter page posted a clip that allegedly showed Akademiks talking to someone off camera, ranting, "Drake can't survive the next leak. He knows what I got." Fans froze. Creators replayed it. Analysts dissected it. Some said the voice was undeniably Ak's. Others said the background noise made it suspicious. But again, truth didn't matter. The internet ran with it. Narratives formed instantly. Akademiks has dirt on Drake. Ak is threatening to expose Drake. Drake versus Ak is about to turn into the biggest scandal ever. But the real twist? The clip was real, but not recent. It was an old, unused outtake from a 2021 livestream before any of this drama happened. Someone dug it out deliberately. Someone weaponized it. Someone wanted this feud to escalate. But who? Fans started pointing fingers at everyone. Drake's team, former OVO affiliates, rappers who hate it, AWK troll groups, even disgruntled mods from Akademiks. Discord, then in a rumor, began spreading like wildfire. There's a third party stirring this up. People speculated that someone was intentionally dropping edited clips, fake messages, old audio, and out-of-context material to cause chaos between Drake and Akademiks. And the craziest part? Insiders confirmed it. Someone any unknown player was feeding both sides. Misinformation to keep the feud alive. Drake's team was told AWK was planning an expose. AWK was told Drake wanted to ruin him. Fake screenshots were sent to both. Fake audio clips were sent to both. Someone wanted war. Someone wanted total destruction. But the biggest twist came from a news outlet claiming an anonymous source sent an email with files labeled the OVO Fallout Project. Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows who sent it. Nobody knows what the files contain, but according to journalists who saw the email, it hinted at a scandal that could ruin reputations on both sides. A scandal deeper than the leaks, deeper than the messages, deeper than the live streams. And suddenly, the Drake versus Akademiks feud wasn't just personal anymore. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't accidental. It was strategic, planned, manufactured by who? Nobody knows. But the reveal of this third party left the industry shaking. Because if what's coming out next is even half true, the meltdown we've seen so far is nothing compared to what's being held back. And that leads us into the next chapter, the moment the entire industry, social media, and fan base turned into a battlefield. By the time the third-party manipulation theory hit social media, the situation had already reached an uncontrollable level. What started as a private emotional outburst had now turned into a full-scale cultural crisis. Fans weren't just watching anymore. They were participating in the meltdown, choosing sides, launching theories, dragging celebrities into the mess, and dissecting every new leak like it was a government scandal. The timeline turned into a war zone. Hashtags began trending simultaneously. Drake exposed, Akademiks lead. OVO, Fallout, AWK-wise, right free. Drake knew every single platform. From YouTube to TikTok, 2X became divided. Users who had never interacted in their lives were now fighting aggressively in comment sections. TikTok. Creators made 3-part series analyzing the drama like a true crime documentary. Some used red string diagrams, connecting screenshots and voice notes as if solving a conspiracy. Others reenacted the argument using sound effects, dramatic music, and exaggerated facial expressions. Entire subcultures formed overnight. Meanwhile, on Reddit, fans dug up years' worth of old clips, moments where AWK praised Drake too hard, moments where Drake seemed distant, moments where their alliance looked forced. People were combing through the past decade, frame by frame, trying to figure out when the first crack formed. One Reddit thread even claimed the beef started in 2021. But we missed all the signs. Another went viral for saying, this wasn't a meltdown. This was a warning shot. But the real chaos began when celebrity accounts started chiming in. Rappers, who previously stayed quiet about Akademiks, suddenly felt bold. One posted snake emojis. Another wrote, told y'all he was messy. Someone else said, that boy been talking too much for too long. And on the other side, some subtle jabs aimed at Drake appeared. A well-known producer tweeted, when the empire cracks, it cracks from the inside. A singer wrote, y'all surprised? He been moving weird. Even anonymous accounts belonging to verified industry members were dropping cryptic tweets like, this is just the beginning. People about to learn the truth real soon. Keep watching. The reaction videos on YouTube were next level. Creators uploaded hour-long breakdowns with titles like, The Truth Behind Drake and Akademiks Collapse. Is Drake being sabotaged by his own camp? Akademiks just made the biggest mistake of his life. The real reason Drake is done with Ak. This is bigger than all of us. Some creators argued passionately that Drake was the victim. Others said Ak had every right to be upset. Others believed both were being played by someone more powerful. But the wildest reactions came from hip-hop media outlets. One posted a headline, "Is this the end of Drake's influence?" Another went with, "Akademiks Meltdown exposes industry secrets, A." Top gossip site even published an article claiming, "A power shift in hip-hop. Drake no longer controls the narrative." Mainstream outlets got involved. Entertainment news channels covered it. Radio stations discussed it during morning shows. Podcasts filmed emergency episodes. Even veteran industry figures weighed in. A legendary DJ tweeted, "This is gonna change things. Trust me." A former label executive posted, "People been warning about this alliance for years." The division became so intense that mutual fans of Drake and Akademiks split into hostile camps, fighting, blocking, arguing, canceling each other. Discord servers turned toxic. Subreddits banned thousands. Group chats imploded, and then came the fan investigations. Some fans claimed Akademiks was telling the truth that Drake's camp was leaking fake messages to destroy him. Others insisted Ak was exaggerating because he felt his relevance slipping. Some were convinced both men were lying. And an entire segment believed the mysterious third party was orchestrating everything for a future documentary or expose. One viral theory claimed a rival rapper hired someone to leak all this. Another insisted this is a label war disguised as personal beef. Someone else said both sides are hiding something massive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be reacting like this. It's the craziest part. The more fans speculated, the more leaks appeared, new screenshots, new audio, new anonymous messages, new allegations. It was like someone was dropping content, specifically designed to keep the world agitated. But the true tipping point, the moment the entire industry realized this wasn't a normal feud, came when a major news channel interrupted programming to report on it. A real televised segment. A serious tone. A dramatic headline. Drake and Akademiks. The collapse of a hip-hop alliance. Fans around the world recorded the broadcast and posted clips everywhere. It was surreal. Even people who didn't follow hip-hop suddenly learned about the feud. Grandmothers asked their grandkids who Akademiks was. Co-workers debated Drake's downfall at the office. Teachers saw students making theories during class. Even sports commentators joked about it during halftime. Drake losing Ak is like a team losing their coach. But the moment that shook the world the most. A leaked internal document titled Crisis Report, OVO Public Response Strategy, surfaced online. It allegedly detailed how Drake's team planned to address the situation through silence, subtle shade, and carefully placed media narratives. Whether real or fake, it spread like wildfire, and the industry realized something chilling. This wasn't a normal fight. This wasn't petty drama. This wasn't two friends beefing. This was a cultural implosion happening in real time. A collapse, a rupture. A career-ending storyline, and just when fans thought the chaos had reached its peak, a new leak appeared, one more explosive, more damaging, more dangerous than anything before. A leak so devastating that both sides went silent instantly. And that silence, that sudden, eerie calm, it meant one thing: something huge was about to break. Something nobody was prepared for, something that would change everything. When the final leak dropped, the internet didn't explode immediately. It froze. For the first time in days, the chaos paused. The timelines went silent. Comment sections halted mid-sentence. Even troll accounts stopped posting because this leak, this file, this alleged piece of evidence, was nothing like the messy screenshots, forged audio, or old clips that had been thrown around before. This was bigger, cleaner, more dangerous, almost too perfect. A single file titled OVO_internal-AKK incident log.pdf appeared on a small encrypted forum and spread like wildfire. But here's what made it unsettling. The document didn't look fan-made. It didn't look sloppy. It didn't look rushed. It looked official. Timestamps, internal codes, department labels, crisis level bullet points, procedural notes written in corporate language. It looked like something that came from inside Drake's team. And its contents, absolutely nuclear. It allegedly detailed private disputes between Drake and Akademiks, meetings where Ak was labeled a PR threat, notes about monitoring his live streams, mentions of potential exposure risks, a chilling entry. Prepare counter-leak package if situation escalates. But that wasn't the part that terrified fans, creators, and even other celebrities. The final line of the document was what sent the world into meltdown. Primary objective, neutralize narrative. Eliminate external influence. Nobody knew what eliminate external influence meant. Was it metaphorical, strategic, targeted, or something more literal and sinister? The ambiguity was exactly what made it horrifying. Within minutes, thousands of people began analyzing the PDF. Some claimed the fonts and formatting matched real corporate documents. Others said it had metadata linking it to a Toronto-based server. Even major gossip sites published emergency articles asking, "Is Drake's camp plotting something?" And while the world was screaming, demanding answers, both Drake and Akademiks suddenly went completely silent. No live streams, no posts, no cryptic messages, nothing. Radio. Silence from both camps. The type of silence that only happens when lawyers get involved. The type of silence that means we're terrified. And that's when the real shock hit. An anonymous account, the same one that previously posted the earliest leaked screenshots, returned with one chilling message. You're all looking at the wrong people. The truth involves both of them. And someone else? The post exploded instantly. Everyone demanded more. Everyone begged for clarification. Some thought it was a troll. Some thought it was a whistleblower. Some thought it was a bot. But then the account dropped a second message, even more cryptic. The final file is coming. It will expose who started all of this. Fans panicked. Creators speculated. Conspiracy theories multiplied. Some said Drake's team was being infiltrated by an enemy. Others believed Akademiks had his own insiders leaking the truth. A few insisted this was the work of a rival artist. Others suspected someone inside a label. But the wildest theory, the one gaining traction across TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter was this: Drake and Akademiks are both being played by someone powerful enough to ruin them. People pointed to mysterious executives, old feuds, jealous rivals, tech companies, media giants, even foreign entities. Everyone was a suspect. And the more people dug, the darker it got. Rumors surfaced that major platforms had secret investments tied to the outcome of the feud. Some said Ak was being targeted for stepping on the wrong toes. Others claimed Drake was being destabilized to reduce his influence in the industry. Nobody knew what was true anymore. The internet had turned into a massive digital detective board. And then, just as the story was reaching maximum hysteria, someone leaked a short clip, supposedly part of the final file. A blurry video, 6 seconds long, shaky, distorted, but the audio was clear. Too. Male voices talking quietly in what sounded like a studio or office. Voice 1. He thinks this is between US. Voice 2. Good. Keep it that way. The clip ends abruptly. Faces aren't visible. Nothing else is identifiable. But fans went insane trying to decode it. Some insisted the first voice sounded like someone from Drake's OVO camp. Others thought the second voice matched a producer Akademiks had beef with. Some even said one of the voices might belong to Drake himself. Though that claim ignited a firestorm of arguments, but the most chilling interpretation came from Reddit. This confirms it. Someone manipulated both Drake and Ak from the start, and the anonymous account. It posted one final message: "They're not ready for the truth. But the world will know soon." Then, the account disappeared. Username deleted. Posts wiped. Gone. And that's when fans realized this feud isn't over. This meltdown isn't resolved. This isn't the end. Not even close. Because if the leaked document is real, if the audio is real, if the mysterious third party exists, then the biggest reveal hasn't dropped yet. The true mastermind behind the Drake Akademiks chaos is still hiding in the shadows. And the next leak, the one they promised could shatter the industry in ways nobody is prepared for. Something massive is coming. And when it arrives, Drake's career, Akademiks' career, the entire hip-hop world will never be the same again. And now that you've seen how deep this chaos goes, how explosive each leak has become, how many secrets are still being hidden behind closed doors, the only question left is, what do you think happens next? Because this story isn't finished. Not even close. The final file hasn't surfaced yet. The mysterious third party hasn't revealed themselves. Drake hasn't spoken. Akademiks hasn't returned. And the industry is still trembling, waiting for the next bomb to drop. So I want to hear from you, the viewers, the detectives, the analysts who've been with this drama from the beginning. Do you think Drake's team is really behind the leaks? Was Akademiks telling the truth the whole time, or spiraling out of control? Is there actually a third party manipulating both sides? And if so, who do you think it is? A rival rapper? A jealous executive? Someone inside OVO? Someone inside YouTube, or someone none of us are even considering? Let me know in the comments. Don't hold back. This is the moment where your voice actually shapes the narrative. And if you've been glued to this story, if you've watched every twist, every leak, every meltdown unfold, then make sure you like this video, because that tells us to keep digging deeper. Hit subscribe with notifications on, because the second that final file drops, the second that anonymous account returns, the second Drake or Akademiks break their silence, we're dropping another video immediately. You don't want to miss what comes next. The next chapter might change everything you thought you knew about this feud. The next reveal might expose the real mastermind. And the next twist, it could be the one that ends careers forever. So stay locked in. Stay watching. Stay questioning, because in this story, nothing is what it seems. And the biggest shock of all is still on the way. Shock of all is still on the way.